Hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video I wanted to give you some information on how you as a business analyst should wear multiple hats when you write or you groom a user story. Okay, so most of us we tend to think of only the functional aspects of a user story. For example, if I want to add two numbers, it's enough that I provide number 1 and value 2, and then I need to get the sum of the two values. We don't think beyond that most of the time. Okay, so this is also something for if you're a business analyst and you're a fresher, this is something that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so when you write a user story, you need to wear multiple hats. Especially as a business analyst, you need to wear multiple hats. Okay, first you need to wear the hat of a business analyst. Okay, and you need to think of what is actually the business requirement. What is this feature supposed to do? By doing this feature, what is the value that I am going to provide to the customers? Okay, so when thinking about this, you would be able to ponder on the exact feature, the pains that the customer is facing, and how you're going to relieve the customers of their pain by the solution you're going to provide and the value that you're going to give them. So, this is the way you think like a business analyst. Also, you need to think about the feature that you are working on and how best you can deliver that feature. Okay. Also, you need to be able to think like a business analyst in another way where you have to define the different requirements for a particular feature. So you need to define how a particular feature is supposed to work and what are the different criteria. Okay, so apart from this, don't stop with this. Okay, you need to think beyond, and that's where you need to wear the hat of a quality analyst. Okay, so I've taken a video where you write scenarios and acceptance criteria. I'll add them in the description box. So if you don't know how to write different scenarios for your user story, acceptance criteria for your user story, you can take a look at them later. So you need to think of like a security analyst, and why I say that is only then you would be able to think about the different scenarios that can come up when you are trying to develop that feature or when the feature is being delivered to the customers. So you would be thinking about the happy part, then the sad part, what happens if the feature fails to execute, then how the system needs to respond to, how customers need to, kind of when they encounter this failure, what they need to do next, whether you're providing them with the right support and with the right information. So you need to think of all these scenarios, especially the exceptional scenarios. You can only think of it when you think like a quality analyst, when you think of the different scenarios that can come up. So you literally need to torture that feature that you're trying to build. Okay, and think of all possible ways that people can use that particular feature and what all can be the outcomes by using that feature. So the third part is you need to think and wear the hat of a security analyst. Okay, so most of us don't think about it. Okay, but it's very important. You as a business analyst, it's not enough that you just know the functional aspects of the feature. It's good that you know that, but it would be even more better if you know what are the different vulnerabilities that can occur for a particular feature. Okay, and I would be giving you some two examples where you would get to know what exactly I am meaning. So all I'm coming to say is when you think about the different security angles, it can be for a small feature, just for like a sign up form, but there would be a lot of security threats and vulnerabilities that might exist, ways in which people can hack your system just with that one form. And most of the time we don't think about that. All we are interested in is that the user should be able to create a username, give their username and password, and then they should create their account. That's what we focus on, and sometimes we focus on different validations. But when it comes to the security, we always think that it would be done by the development team and it would be taken care. But yes, that would be done. But what I'm saying is, as a business analyst, you too need to put on some analysis on that side, and you too need to be aware of what are the different security threats, vulnerabilities, and how that can be avoided and mitigated. So that's what I'll be giving you some two examples as how to think like a security analyst, how to just add in whatever ways in which you feel that there'll be a vulnerability, you need to think of it and how you can solve that particular issue. So I'll be giving you two examples and let's get into it. So let us take this first example. Let's say you're developing a feature for a sign up page. So you would have general functionality like the user should be able to provide the username and password. Only then they would be able to sign up for the account. And if they do not provide any one of the following, then they should not be able to sign up. Also, apart from this, you need to think about with this one form, what are the ways in which this is vulnerable to attacks, especially security attacks. Okay, so you need to think about it and you need to also define the measures that you're taking to secure your system and especially this feature. So if you see here, a basic one when you deal with passwords here is you need to mask the password. So there was one awkward situation when the team wanted to do a MVP and they failed to mask the password, and the client kind of pitched in and brought this up, which was very bad. So initially this should have been addressed by the team, especially when the requirements were put down. So also examples like the password length, characters used in a password, and the maximum character length for inputs, all this makes your password secure enough so that people would not kind of abuse that particular input field. The last one is a rate limiter for sign up. Imagine 10,000 or lakhs of people trying to sign up to an account in one single day. That would cause a lot of stress and load to the system and service. So usually what people do is they set up a rate limiter. So you need to think whether a rate limiter should be set for it. Another example, it might be just a small input field, just a description field, and we might just give the requirement like the user should be able to input any number of characters and they should be able to input text into the field. But it doesn't stop there. Someone might try to enter malicious code into that one description box and hack your system, something like SQL injections. So you need to make sure that no malicious characters are there. Also, the password length is set.